All set, Sam? City of Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on June 12, 2006, 6:30 p.m. concerning the following petitions. Nextel Communications, Mid-Atlantic, Inc., 99 Willie Street. Are they here tonight? I think we have a letter they want to continue. We'd like to continue that for 30 days. They've been going back and forth with the Historic Board. I think they're pretty close, talking to Steve Stoll. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak in behalf or on that petition? Okay. I need a motion to continue for 30 days.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to continue till July the 24th.
Need a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Squalia?
Continue.
Mr. Flynn?
Continue.
Mr. Belanger?
Continue.
Mr. Kazanjian?
Continue to July 24th.
And Mr. Knox?
Continue July 24th.
Terry Moran, 156 Riverside Street, to add a third dwelling unit to existing two-family.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Terry Moran, co-owner of 156 Riverside Street in Lowell. We have an existing two-family. I'm here for the special permit, respectfully request to change it to a three-family. We are in an institutional zone, and the code calls for 6 parking spaces, which we have on our Board of Appeals plan that we've submitted to you.
Okay. Is anybody here like to speak in favor for this petition on Riverside Street? In favor, 156 Riverside Street. Anybody in opposition? In opposition? Hearing none, let's open it to the board. Go, Jack.
Mr. Chairman, through you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Moran and Mr. Grigg have done everything that was asked of them at the site view that I went to, and I don't see any problem with this petition at all, so I would be in favor of this petition. Thank you.
Okay. Jack, was it?
I agree with Mr. Flynn. This was originally continued in the site visit. Unfortunately, I was unable to make the site visit because it did change the original day of the site visit from Wednesday to Thursday. But in talking with Mr. Flynn and then hearing all of the addressed issues concerns you've addressed, I would agree with my fellow board member, Mr. Flynn, and would be in favor if all these issues have been addressed as stated.
Okay. Corey, you all set?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. The other fellow board members seem to be satisfied with the petitioner's revisions, we'll say, and I myself, I'm definitely in liking of the first floor downsizing from a 4-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, so I'm all for the petition. Thank you.
Okay. We did have a couple of concerns to make sure that you aren't using it as a rooming house. We did notice that you had rooms for rent.
Right.
We have no problem making this into a 3-family. You do have the parking. We were up there. We didn't make the meeting, but we did go up after. And you do have the parking out there, so it looks like the board members are all in favor for it, and I have no problem myself. So I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve?
I second the motion.
I just want to add one thing to that before you to the motion.
Okay.
Make sure that it's going to be Mr. Moran is going to own this property, and if he does sell it for some reason, that these people have to come in front of us to get the approval for that third. We know he does a good job on his property, and we'll keep it up. But if he goes to sell it, we're not sure how that individual is going to be. I just want to make that a condition.
Okay.
So.
Make a motion with the following condition, that if the property is conveyed, it will overt back to a 2-family. And new ownership will have to come in front of this board to ask for a 3-family.
So if I go to sell it, would I have to list it as a 2 or 3 family?
Well, you have to list it as it's a three-family, but they have to come get approval from the zoning board of appeals.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Very good. Need a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Belanger?
Approve with conditions?
Mr. Knox?
Approved with conditions.
Mr. Flynn?
Approve with condition.
Mr. Squaya?
Approve.
And Mr. Kazanjian?
Approve of the conditions. Approve with 5 votes. We need to sign some paperwork before you leave.
Okay.
Okay, we have 1 Salem Street, Vasilios Blitzis. Constructs a mixed-use building with insufficient parking, floor area ratio, side yard setback, usable open space, and size of parking spaces provided. Is he here tonight? I think they're going to continue for 2 weeks.
Yes, they do, Mr. Chairman.
okay.
We have a letter addressing
Okay.
that.
We need a motion to continue. Is anybody here like to speak on behalf of this petition? No, there's nobody here, so we're going to continue for 2 weeks.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to continue to June the 26th.
You need a second?
I second it.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Squaya?
Continue.
Mr. Flynn?
Continue.
Mr. Belanger?
Continue.
Mr. Knox?
Continue.
And Mr. Kazanjian?
Continued. Okay, next we have Robert Sorby, 98 Hoyt Ave, to raise an existing garage, to reconstruct insufficient side, rear yard, and garage to construct setbacks.
Hi, my name is Robert Sorby of 98 Hoyt Ave. I have some drawings here with some revisions. It's just for the windows. I have one for each of the...
If you can bring them up, please, that'll be, so we can take a look at them. Okay.
I changed the front windows and I eliminated the side windows and just added a door on the revisions. The garage was built about 100 years ago. It was built on the ground, so it's rotting away and falling down. It's now a safety hazard. I just like to rebuild where it is existing, make it a little bit 4 feet larger into my own existing yard, and have a second floor for storage.
Okay. Anybody here like to speak in favor for this petition, 98 Hoyt Ave, in favor? Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, let's open to the board. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a very nice neighborhood. I was out there talking to the someone there today, and it'll really be a big improvement for them. They like the neighborhood. They want to stay there, and it's a nice addition. The neighbors are happy with it, so I would be definitely in favor of it.
Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I agree with the Vice Chairman that it'll be a nice change in comparison to the structure that currently exists, and obviously there's no opposition here to the petitioner, so I also would be in favor of the petition. Thank you.
Go ahead, Corey.
Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Jack?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I also agree with my colleagues. I would go along with this petition. Thank you.
Okay, we need a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Call the roll, please.
Approve.
Squaya?
Approve.
Mr. Kazanjian?
Approved.
And Mr. Flynn?
Approve.
Been approved with 5 votes. We need to sign some paperwork, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Watch out. It's a danger zone.
James Parent, 20 Circuit Ave, to construct a farmer's porch with insufficient front yard setback.
Hello, Mr. Chairman, James Parent. I'm looking to put a farmer's porch on the front, put a better staircase in than what I have, and make a nicer property out of it.
Okay. Anybody here like to speak in favor for this petition? In favor? Anybody in opposition? Hearing none, let's open to the board. Go, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When I'm visiting the property today, this gentleman, I think, bought this home from his mom. He's been there for his whole life, and a nice neighborhood. Family lives there. He wants to stay there. It would be a nice addition to the house. He's done a lot of work to it. It looks nice, and this is the one last thing probably that he wants to do for now, so I think we should approve it.
Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Once again, I agree with the Vice Chairman. I think the design is going to be nothing but an addition to the neighborhood. And again, there was no one in opposition, so obviously the neighbors agree that it'll do nothing but enhance the beauty of the neighborhood. So I also would be in favor of this petition.
Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I also agree with my fellow colleagues. I think it will be an asset to the house and to the neighbors.
Okay. Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second it?
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Belanger? Approve. Mr. Knox?
Approve.
Mr. Flynn?
Approve.
Mr. Squire?
Approve.
And Mr. Kazanjian?
Approve. Been approved with 5 votes. We need to sign some paperwork. Okay, next one, Justin Tebow, 46 Hayes Ave, to subdivide lot and construct single-family with exceeds maximum allowed front yard setbacks with insufficient side yard setback.
Could I approach the board and pass out this plan right here?
Sure, come on up. Go ahead, Justin.
I would just like to, construct a single-family home on a lot that was divided, from my grandmother. My whole family has always lived on this street. The street is, it's named after my family, actually, the Hayeses. And I'd just like to live in the neighborhood and construct this home. My whole family lives there. I currently reside at 57 Hayes Avenue. I've lived there my whole life. This is my grandmother, who has lived at 44 Hayes Avenue. We built all the other houses. I mean, she's lived in every house in the neighborhood. I mean, I'd just like to live there as well.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, this is a buildable lot. You're just trying to push the house back, and that's why,
Yeah,
that's why you're here today.
and make it also a little bit wider because
Okay,
to match the other houses in the
Right.
neighborhood.
okay. Does anybody here like to speak in favor for this petition? In favor? Yes, sir.
My name is Rich Tebow. My son is the petitioner. This is a very emotional issue because my family also has, goes dates way back in Lowell. We lived on Varnum Avenue. My father owned the land the original Coburn Mission was on. My wife's family built Hayes Avenue. As he said, it was named after my wife's great-grandfather. And it's, in this day and age, it's hard to find a son that actually wants to live in the neighborhood where his roots, you know, where his roots are. It's not a builder issue. He wants to build a home where he can stay, and he just wants to continue the tradition of, most of the homes on the street were built by my family. He wants to continue the tradition of carrying on the name on Hayes Avenue. So it's more than just a home. It's kind of an emotional issue for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak in favor?
Good evening. My name's Sean Dillon. I live at 45 Hayes Avenue. I'll be living directly across the street from this home that Justin's going to be building. When he first approached me, I was leery about it, going by the first design that he had set up. And when he showed me the setback, I was concerned about my neighbor over here across the street, because I don't know if he knew anything about it. Myself, I didn't have too much of a problem with the setback, just as long as there's not any problems with the parking for his vehicles, because I don't have a driveway and we have to park on the street. That's my only problem. Other than that, there's no problem.
Okay, great, thank you. Anybody else like to speak in favor? In favor? Anybody here like to speak in opposition? In opposition? Okay, before I do turn it over to the board, we have a letter from the engineer's office. Where you're putting the house, it's right on a sewer easement that belongs to the city of Lowell. You aware of that?
It's not on the
Well,
easement.
it's right.
Yeah.
It's right at the
Yeah,
the
it's
easement.
right.
Well, they're not too happy about that. They like to see if they can move the house forward somewhat. I mean, you got 50. It looks like you're 56.7 from the street. I think if we move it towards the street, maybe that's 6.7, and leave it an even 50, I think they'll be happy with that and make everybody happy. Do you have any problem with that? Okay. All right, I just wanted to run that by the board, and let's open it to the board. Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that was the principal concern, the letter we received from the engineering department requesting the 5-foot easement. If the petitioner is willing to go along with those conditions and address those issues and satisfy the possibility of any disturbing of the sewage system, I think it certainly would bode well for the petitioner. I think it would ease the engineering department, and also the neighborhood, I think, would be in compliance. I know the board, I think, myself, I would go along with it. I think it's a wonderful thing to carry on a tradition like that, and certainly we'd like to be willing to help the family and to help you. If you're willing to go along with the conditions that the board sets in addressing the easement, then I would have no problem in favor of this petition.
Go, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree with my colleague, Mr. Knox. This is a great neighborhood. They're all nice people. All the houses are well kept. Everybody seems to know each other. This house will fit right in harmony with the rest of the houses. Even if you bring the setback forward another 6.7 feet, it'll still work out. It just seems like he's very fortunate to have family that's willing to help him out. And this is the kind of project that I think is good in the neighborhood, and I'm really all for it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Corey.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, great petition, great story, great family history, all the above. If the petitioner wants to revise his plan and come back and move the house, I'd be all for it, quite frankly. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I also agree with my colleagues. I think it'll be a big asset to the neighborhood, and it's nice to see you do something for your family like this. And I would also be in favor of this petition. Thank you.
Okay, I don't think we have to have him come back. I'd like to see if we can approve it tonight with the condition that he presents the board with a plot plan with that house sitting back 50 feet instead of 56.7. I have no problem with doing that. So I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve with the condition that you use a 50-foot from the street instead of the 56.7. You'll have to submit that to the building department, and that will be an order of condition if this is approved.
And make sure that that does get to us before he does construct any work.
Okay.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Squaya.
Approve with condition.
Mr. Flynn.
Approve with conditions.
Mr. Belanger.
Approve with conditions.
Mr. Knox.
Approved with conditions.
And Mr. Kazanjian.
Approve and conditions. We need to sign some paperwork and approve with 5 votes. You understand what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words...
Push it up 5.6
Yeah,
feet.
Well, it's actually 6.7. You want to be, you want to have a setback of 50 feet from the street.
Okay.
If you want to come up here, I can write something on this plot plan so you can give it to your engineer and... Duville Elderly Housing, 1039 Varnum Ave, to raise existing structure to construct new 3-story building which will expand to the prior non-conforming use and exceed the maximum number of stories with insufficient side yard setbacks.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, James Flood, 81 Bridge Street, representing the petitioner, Duville Elderly Housing Corporation, and also the Sisters of Charity of Ottawa, who is the owner of the property. With me tonight, I have Meg Kiley from Duville, and I think Bill Grogan is coming. I got John Noonan, who's our engineer, Bob Verrier, who's our architect, who's on his way, and I have Naomi Prendergast from Duville Senior Living, the executive director. As you are aware, the property is in an SSF single-family zone, and we're here tonight to request a special permit to expand a prior non-conforming use and a variance from the side yard setback and from the number of stories on our proposed building. The proposed project involves the demolition of the existing provincial house presently on the site and the construction of a 3-story building for affordable congregate living for the elderly. The building will contain 42 units, 41 of which will be 1-bedroom, and there'll be 1 2-bedroom unit. It will also have a common room, a laundry facility, a meeting room, and also adjacent dining room facilities. We're seeking the side yard setback so we'll be able to connect this building to the one that is presently under construction. So we want to be able to go right up to that building so the residents will be able to go from one building to another. As far as the 3-story is concerned, the zoning only allows for 2.5 stories, but our building will be lower than the maximum allowed in that zone in height, and also will be lower than the abutting properties in the neighborhood. I think this board can appreciate the need for affordable housing for the elderly in the city of Lowell, and I think this project will help satisfy that need, and the Duval campus certainly is a proper location for it. It is located on the LRTA bus route on Varnum Avenue, and the existing building presently has many amenities that the elderly can take advantage of. We are proposing additional landscaping, additional walkways, and seating areas, and a gazebo on the site. My client has met on 2 separate occasions with the Pawtucketville Association, and we have received their endorsement of this project. There were a couple of concerns, and we have addressed them. One concern had to do with the location of the existing driveway with Kelly Circle, which is located directly next door. Meg Kiley met with Steve Curran, and it was discussed that the present sign for Kelly Circle be moved across the street to be placed before Kelly Circle, so there won't be any confusion. As far as the entrance is concerned, we've agreed to work with the DPD staff to design an entrance, so you'll definitely know that it's an entrance for Duval with landscaping and fences, so it'll be distinguished. As you're probably aware, we did appear before the planning board last week, and we did receive their approval. I don't know, did you get a copy of the decision? Well, if you didn't, I have copies. As this board is aware, if you people vote in favor of this petition, any conditions that the planning board placed on it also has to be incorporated in your decision. And they did place 2 conditions. One, that we receive final approval from the fire department because it hadn't come in at the time of the meeting. And second, that we do work with DPD staff to design that entranceway, landscaping, and the fencing to Duval. So I think it's a good project. That campus has been there for many years. They have all the amenities for seniors, and we're here to answer any questions that this board may have, but I'd ask that you vote favorably on it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Flood. Anybody here like to speak in favor for this petition? In favor? Anybody like to speak in opposition? In opposition? No, that's good. Looks like you did meet with the Pawtucketville group because they're not here to speak in oppositions. My only concern is, and Mr. Squillier brought this up just a few minutes ago, between Kelly Circle and also the driveway, are there going to be any type of shrubs or any type of greens?
Yes, I think Bob can explain the landscape design. The whole strip?
Right.
He's going to put trees to the whole strip.
Okay.
You want to show the picture? You want to see the
Please,
rendering?
yeah, if we can, that'd be great, yep.
This is Bob Viria,
Bob Verria from the architectural team.
Bob, why don't you grab this mic so the,
Does that one work?
Hello? Yes, I'm there. Oh, my God. Hi. Bob Verria from the architectural team. It's nice to be back in Lowell. First job we did many years ago was Centennial Island. And we worked for Ed Byron on the bank, and we've done a few other jobs in Lowell recently, Boot Mill. What we've done is we've met with the neighborhood on several occasions. All the three-story buildings on this side, the contiguous neighborhood. And what we did is we came up with a scheme where there's about a 40-foot buffer between their property and our property, which has gone downhill a little bit. Nobody takes care of it. So we've agreed to clean that up and add quite a few white pines, which grow about 1.5 feet a year in the different places where there's no vegetation. And they were very pleased with that scheme. Additionally, the existing building starts here, comes all the way around the corner, all the way down to here. It's a one-story building, but it covers about 50% of the lot. Our new building allows us to have almost 40% more landscaping and more of a buffer between us and the neighbors. So those are the things that we've done to compromise with the neighborhood.
That was included in our submission to the planning board.
Okay. So this plan right here went to the planning board, and they approved that plan. Okay.
Plus, we're going to redesign the entranceway, well, you can't see it here, down where it comes into the site
Okay.
with fencing and more landscaping down there.
Okay, good. All right. All right, let's open up to the board, see what they have for questions. Good, Dan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I happen to live in that neighborhood off of Arnhem Avenue, and that entrance there being so close to Kelly is going to be, it's going to be difficult because this is a residential living facility for elderly people. And I understand that there's an existing driveway there and you'd like to utilize that. And I think Mr. Flood can assure us that you need to take that entrance and make it as safe as possible. I myself have gone down and turned into Kelly because it's so close to where it is. And I know the neighbors in the neighborhood have talked about that. I know that, they're very pleased with the project overall, but this is a life and safety issue to me, and I don't think you can overlook or step aside the cost of it to do it, but it needs to be done right, and I hope they take a good look at that, because I hate to have something happen to someone on a bicycle a year down the road or something, just because we can save a couple of dollars by using the existing driveway.
Yeah, I know that's true, and that's what we did discuss with the neighborhood. We discussed it with the planning board. All we had at the meeting was just a rendering of just an idea what we do, but we're talking about fencing on both sides and more landscaping, so that would be distinguished. And moving the sign from here to this side, which Steve Curran thought was a good idea. So that seemed to satisfy the people, the neighbors, and the planning board. And I mean, if it's a problem, we could address it at a later date, but I think that should take care of it.
I agree. I'm just asking you to use your wisdom, make sure you check with all the people like Mr. Curran and everybody in the city that can help you with that. I'm sure it can work. It's just a couple of good ideas will make it even better than maybe if you don't take the time to look at that.
Well, that's what we did. We agreed to work with DPD staff to design it so it would be safe. So hopefully what we come up with will be good for the whole city.
Thank you.
Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, it appears that the petitioner and the counselor have done their homework and reached out, most importantly, to the neighborhood group. No doubtedly, that's one of the stronger neighborhood groups in the city, and had there been any questions, they would have been here in numbers. So that speaks well to the petitioner. I think the vice chairman has addressed his concerns. I agree that safety should be foremost, aside from whatever aesthetic beauty is added. All those things are wonderful, but safety has to be paramount. And if those issues are being addressed, then I certainly would be in favor of the petition.
Thanks, Jack. Corey?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to take in consideration that the vice chairman's concerns on safety will be met by the petitioner. I'm pretty confident of that. And secondly, if this board were to approve this project, I think it's a great project, and I think we'll be improving the quality of life for many elder residents in the city. And great job. I think it's a good petition. Thank you.
Go, Jack.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I also agree with my fellow colleagues. I feel that it'll be a great project, and I think you'll be very successful at it. Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. I also think it's a great project, and if you get the Pawtuckaville group that's satisfied, they're a pretty tough group, so I think you guys did your homework. Since I've been on the board, you've been here about 2 or 3 times, or just different additions. Do you have any plans in the future of, once this is full, to expand any more? Or do you have any more land to expand?
Oh, there's plenty of land on the site, but I don't think there's any more.
So this is
number of
pretty
plans.
much it? This is...
I think so. Naomi, do you know of any other plans? Why don't you-
Hi, I'm Naomi Prendergast. I'm the CEO of Duville Senior Care. And this is the only formal plan we have at the moment. We do
Okay.
have quite a bit of other land. There is a lot of wetlands back there as well. But what we're looking at is any way that we can maintain the mission of the Sisters of Charity, which is provision of services to the elderly.
Right.
So if there were anything in the future, it would be along the same lines of senior living.
Okay, how much land do you have there? Is it, what, 5 acres?
Acres.
Yeah, there are many, many acres. I think there's about 75 acres,
Oh,
but
okay.
much of it is wetlands.
All right, okay,
It goes way back, Alan, way in the back.
okay.
The
Thank you.
baby's got to it.
Again, if this does get approved, we will make a condition that an entranceway is approved by DPD and the city engineer, whoever is involved. I think that's our only major concern. I think the plan is great and be a good quality of life for some of the elderly people, so I have no problem with it. I'm going to need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve with the one condition that I believe it's the engineer's office, Mr. Curran's office,
Or DPD.
or DPD
Or
will...
both, yeah.
Or both will sign off on an approved plan for the entrance and the egress.
Any second, please?
Seconded.
I call the roll.
Mr. Square?
Approved with condition?
Mr. Flynn?
Approve with conditions.
Mr. Belanger?
Approved with conditions?
Mr. Knox?
Approved with condition.
And Mr. Kazanjian?
Approve with conditions. Been approved with 5 votes. We need to sign some paperwork, please.
This one?
Do we have the minutes to approve?
I think so, we got the...
Go ahead. Yeah, I know.
Kid number do you move?
You're just a kid. You can keep this one, Diane.
Good job, Council. Yeah, May the 8th, Mr. Chairman, and May the 22nd.
And she said that she wrote down March 27th too, those weren't done?
I have May 8th and May 22nd.
Yeah, she's got a third one.
Correct.
Third would be March 22nd. Yes, online.
Okay, we need to make a motion approve the minutes on March 27th meeting, May 8th meeting, and May 22nd meeting. Anybody have any questions on that, on the minutes at all?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Okay. Everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Chair votes yes.
Yes.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Jack seconds. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes yes.
Is that new? Is that new?
We changed it.